The way I think about the practice of civil rights and what I bring to it is that this is not a profession for me. This isn't a job. This is my calling. I recognize that in order to be a civil rights lawyer, you have to have a drive and a will to do this type of work, regardless of what the outcome is, right? You need to have perseverance. You need to have a fighting spirit, because these cases take time, they take energy, they take a whole lot of expense. Quite frankly, you live them for years. It's unlike any other practice of law that I've ever embarked on. The biggest highlight of my career in civil rights has to have been last fall, when I was asked by civil rights lawyer and advocate Ben Crump to attend a press conference in Houston where we spoke to the national media. And we spoke outside the courthouse of the Harris County Courthouse with families of people who have been killed by police officers, either because of the color of their skin, because they were mentally ill. And that experience, being there with Ben, with those families, arm in arm, in the community, speaking with those folks and speaking to the media was a highlight. And I think that rivaled, to be honest, a year earlier, Mr. Crump had asked me to come down and march in Louisville on the 1-year anniversary of Breonna Taylor's death. We spoke with community activists, families of people who were killed by police officers, local leaders, reverends, and of course, Mr. Crump himself. And I think those two experiences, being, again, in the communities with people who have lost family members because of excess force or deadly force, far outweighed any result that I've ever had in terms of monetary award or settlement, because I was accepted in the community as someone who was helping these people and these families. Danny Ray Thomas is a unique case. Not only was Danny Ray an African American that was killed by a police officer, he was mentally ill. He was in a mental crisis. And I think the families that were there, many of those families had members of their family who were mentally ill, who had encounters with the police officers. The officers simply just were not equipped, didn't have the right temperament, the right training, and these people ended up being killed. And that's a very different scenario than what happened to Breonna Taylor, which the officers in that case chalked up to a mistake. But with Danny Ray, because of the fact that mentally ill people in the United States today who encounter the police all too often end up getting seriously hurt or killed. And so for me to be able to speak to the national press about that was inspiring. Civil rights is a broad spectrum of a variety of different cases. We specialize in police misconduct, employment discrimination, and sexual harassment. Those are the areas that I have typically practiced in for more than 25 years. We don't take cases that involve what I call public discrimination, like cases of housing discrimination. Those types of cases are best handled by federal agencies or state agencies. So we really try to stay within the types of cases that we're accustomed to handling. However, I have to be really honest. There are certain causes that I'm just attracted to, that just pull me in. So I don't say that we don't do a certain type of case, because if the case is right for me, the cause is just, and I feel that it's something that I need to take, then I'll do it. A person knows that it's time to hire a civil rights lawyer when, if they are in an employment situation and they're being treated differently, they're a minority, or they have some religious or ethnic affiliation, and they're being treated unfairly or different than others that are in the majority, and they're having their job assignments taken away from them, they're being demoted, they're not getting the raise that they want, and they know it's because of the fact that they're in this minority class, probably time to get a civil rights lawyer. If they've been in an encounter with a police officer and the officer has been excessively violent with them and they've been injured, probably time to talk to a civil rights lawyer. And just generally, you know, if they have been treated inhumanely because of the color of their skin, because of the religion that they're affiliated with, because of an ethnic or disability that they have, I would consult with a civil rights lawyer.